What do you nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's anime nerdigan review is going to be on Sailor Moon Crystal episode 28. And I have very mixed feelings on this because, as you anime nerdigans know, I have the manga chapter right in front of me while I'm watching the anime because I want to see if it matches. Last episode matched perfectly, and it ended like halfway through chapter 27 of the manga, and this episode completed the last half of chapter 27, and it went to the first half of chapter 28. So I'm curious if Sailor Moon Crystal is going to continue that pattern. If it does, I think I'm okay with it. But anyway, let's talk about the good things about this episode. The animation is beautiful. Toei, you have not disappointed me yet with this animation. It's gorgeous. I really liked it. I like that, the other thing I really liked, I know they changed the dialogue a little bit, but I like that they mentioned that, where is it? The Terion crystal is actually it's called the Crystal of Life, because they didn't mention that in the manga, but I actually like that they mentioned it in the anime. And I hope we get, and if they add more explanation of it, I'm totally fine with that. And now I don't know how to feel about this, so let me go through the episode. So I understand why they shortened and simplified the wording and slash the dialogue of this episode, but at the same time I'm like, wait a second. They didn't do this the last episode. What the hell, anime? Seriously. But like the first word change that I noticed is what Kaori said. It should have been. It looks like our creature was a failure, and we were unable to unleash the diamonds. And another thing that I thought was weird, but I think that it was for the better that they changed it to "ma'am" from "sir," which was in the manga, and they kind of screwed up the order a little bit on some of it. But anyway, it said in the manga, hosts, it seems that our creations, the diamonds, require hosts in order to survive and complete their mission, and hosts that can properly activate our creations. Instead, like, it went straight into finding the Sailor Scouts, and they did not, and it got mixed up. And what it was supposed to say, and maybe the translation was wrong, I'm not sure, because I watched it on Hulu Plus. So anime nerdigans, please let me know if it was different on Crunchyroll. It said here that in the manga it said the protectors of this planet, the sailor soldiers, and it said on the Hulu Plus version, they said by the planets and protector of the planets and completely skip the sailor soldiers, which kind of bothered me a little bit. And the manga says, this is what the manga says. We have been given a new mission. First, we must eliminate the planet's protectors, and we will use our diamonds to clear this place of those eyesores. Instead, it says, I have given you a new mission. You can use the diamond for that. Because for those that haven't read the manga, which I totally recommend you do, the manga is basically saying that Pharaoh 90 handed down the mission to Kaori, not Kaori giving them Kaori's just giving the mission based on what Pharaoh 90 said. And then, like, after mentioning the Magnus portion, then Kaori mentions about the Pharaoh 90 bequeathing to you the powers of the Taorian crystal as a reward, and you will gain the title of Magnus and become a sorceress like myself. That's what it kind of bothered me that happened after mentioning it, and Kaori said that she was going to give it in the anime. She said Kaori was going to give it to them and raise their level, but it was supposed to be Pharaoh 90. So I don't know what the hell happened with that. um, let's see. And the Witches 5, I know it's a little bit different, and they mentioned it said here that a position that gives you access to our master and gives the Taoring crystal. But I'm not going to complain too much about that, because they really said it like after all that, so I'm fine with that. And something Kaori said, it kind of bothered me a little bit. She said to vessels and hosts in the anime, but it's really just find the right hosts, collect them to further our own survival. And the anime said vessels and hosts it said find the right vessels and hosts, and so we may survive. That kind of bothered me just a little bit. And they didn't have the Witches 5 say we shall do your bidding, but I'm not gonna complain too much about that. And I understand, as I mentioned before, I understand why they simplified it, and I'm fine with them as long as they keep the events similar or the same as the manga. Then I'm okay with a little bit of dialogue change. Like in season 1, for sure, they really fucked up the dialogue and fucked up the order of the events, and that pissed me off a little bit. But this is not screwed. It kind of screwed up the events a little bit in the order in the beginning, and I just did not like that Kaori Knight said that she was gonna raise their level and then after that said that Pharaoh 90 was gonna raise their level. So that bothered me in the anime. I don't know what you nerdigans, especially the manga nerdigans that have read the manga, think about that. Let's see. And okay, let's get to the battle here, because yeah, as I said, like up to that point, the events were similar. I gotta say, I loved the disguise power. The animation was beautiful, and the thing that really, and everything was going just right. But what bothered me was, why the hell were the Sailor Scouts at this the rest of the inner senshi here? Like, they're not supposed to be there. This is supposed to be Sailor Moon's and Sailor Chibi Moment's time. And I didn't understand, and it kind of frustrated me, because I was just like, wait a second, anime. The manga does not have the other Sailor Scouts show up at all in this battle. I don't know if they were if Toei was just thinking, oh, we got to show the Sailor Scouts transforming in every episode. That's why I'm kind of pissed off. I was just like, really? Really? You're going to do that and have them attack? And then the other thing that kind of bothered me was they had the Witches 5 there, and they're not supposed to be there either. So I'm just guessing I'm guessing Toei just wanted them to be there, and that really pissed me off. But I will say the animation was beautiful. Animation of the attacks was beautiful. The transformation was beautiful. And I love Chibi Moon's transformation. It's so pretty. I love it. And yeah, I mentioned the Witches 5 wasn't supposed to be there. And Luna and Artemis are not, and that pissed me off too. Luna was not supposed to say, do it now, Sailor Moon, or do it now, whatever. Luna and Artemis had their one scene in the chapter, and yeah, Hotaru was perfect. The voice acting, I gotta say, I almost forgot. The voice acting is fantastic. I love Hotaru's voice actor. She is great. And this kind of pissed me off too near the end. And basically, they had originally, it's supposed to be after they defeat the enemy. It's supposed to be Neptune and Uranus showing up, and then after you see them, Chibi Moon gets healed by Hotaru, and then Mamo-chan is supposed to show up. That did not happen. Instead, you had Mamo-chan showing up before that, and then you had oh my god, and then you had Neptune and Uranus show up. And in the meantime, Chibi Moon's getting healed. that kind of bothered me a little bit, because, that's just me being a manga nerd again. I'm just really, like, I'm mixed on this episode. I really am. And the only thing I could, and again, it ended in the middle of chapter 28, and I'm kind of fine with that. It's actually a good spot for the episode to end, because then we have a cliffhanger, and I'm not going to spoil it for those that haven't read the manga. Seriously, go read the manga. The manga is really good. But overall, as I said, I'm mixed. So I'm probably going to give it an 8 out of 10 just for that. And Toei, please stick to the order of the events in the manga. And you had the dialogue perfect last episode. You had the right Sailor Senshi attacking, which was and defeating the monster, which was Venus and Jupiter. Like, why couldn't you just give Sailor Moon the freaking spotlight? Because that's what it was supposed to be. And and the other thing before I forget, they added a little bit of extra when Chibi Moon was introducing herself to Hotaru, and I'm just like, kind of mixed about that. And if you added that in there, why couldn't you fix some of the other crap? That's why I'm kind of, like, frustrated. And if they didn't have the Sailor Senshi and the Witches 5 there, they probably could have done this perfectly. And that's why I'm more frustrated than anything about it. So anyway, let me know what you thought about this episode of Sailor Moon, Crystal, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc., and I will be seeing you later. Oh, and make sure you become a nerd again today and donate by donating to my Patreon, and make sure you follow me on Twitter, and I will give you the updates and live tweets and stuff. Until next time, bye!